For the wages of sin is death, but the favorable gift of Elohim is everlasting chai, and that's life, in Mashiach Yahushua our Adon. I'm going to use myself as an example. Ignorantly and naively, I went and got C-sections done. Granted, these are promoted. Granted, they are promoted and pushed on the public. However, we all have our own choices to make. When I went and got this C-section done, I chose to use the facility. I chose to use the procedure. I chose to own, through those choices, I chose to own the outcome. There are very little things in this life that we are to own. And the outcome and the consequence of our choices and our decisions are one of those things that we are to own in this life. I made the choice, and during that C-section, I was traumatized in my back. And since that, I have suffered the consequence of the choice to be lawless. When we do things contrary to the way of nature and to the way that Yahweh set out for us to live, when we live contrary to those ways, we are being lawless. We are walking outside of contract, of natural law contract. By me choosing to walk in lawlessness, I chose to walk in sin. Lawlessness is sin. When I chose to walk in that sin, I received the wage of that sin. Now, it says the wages of sin is death, but I'm not dead. I'm still alive. However, when Yahweh told Eve to not eat of the forbidden fruit, that otherwise they would die, was he lying? No, he was not lying. He was telling them the truth about what would happen. You will die. And the problem here is that we all consider death, the word death, as no longer being existent on this earth. But that isn't at all what it means. And Satan knew this. Hasatan, he knew this. That's why he asked Eve. He said, let me see what her name is. Okay, that's why Hasatan, he asked Chawa, who we know her as Eve. He asked Chawa, did Yahweh really say that you're going to die if you eat of that tree? Did he really say that you can't eat of it? You know, and Chawa answered, and Hasatan told her, you're not going to die. He tried to put it in her heart that Yahweh was a liar. He said, you're not going to surely die. He just knows that when you do this, you're going to understand things. And he wasn't lying. But he was lying too. they did die spiritually. They were not naked as we would perceive nakedness to be. They had a covering of light because they were spirit inside of a tent, a body. When they fell from their original form, they were demoted from the spirit, which is everything that we want. They were demoted to their bodies. That they would be body first, then spirit with a soul. Before, they were a soul in a spirit in a body. Okay? So they did die. They did die spiritually. Not physically. But Yahweh didn't say that they were going to die spiritually. He said they were going to die. Now, they didn't ask any questions. They just believed him. And rightly so. He was their maker. Okay? But then when Hasatan came and he questioned what Yahweh told them, Chawa began to really think about it. And therefore they died. Okay? So getting back to this, death is not always death is not about leaving this realm. Death is about consequences to choices. When I made the choice to be lawless against nature, I was paid in return for my choice with death. And death comes in many forms. And the death that I was paid with for my sin, for my lawlessness, was pain. So pain is a down payment on death. So now I have to live with the consequence of my payment for my lawlessness. Now you say, oh, well, Yahweh can heal you. Yes, he can. He can, he does, and he will. But I can't go to the doctor, to pharmakai, to the priests in white robes, and get a remedy for my sin. Because they can't forgive sin. In fact, that's who I went to when I was sinning. Okay? If I went to pharmakai because of my back, if it doesn't hurt all the time. It only hurts sometimes in the one spot where I received trauma because of my lawlessness. If I go back there and tell them, oh, doc, my back is really hurting. I need some type of, something to help. Well, they're going to give me a pill or a prescription, okay, and send me on my merry way. Now, if I go and get that prescription and choose to use their sinful remedies for the original sin and my back, then I'm going to have consequences to the choice of using their remedy, because it's not a remedy, it's a band-aid. Okay? I can't expect Yahweh to just come on over and supersede all my choices and just heal me, when I'm still going back to the same sinful choices that I made in the beginning through lawlessness. He's not going to do that. He is not going to supersede his natural law, his force of law, that is nature, and choice. He's not going to supersede that and heal me if I'm still going back to the choice of lawlessness. Because whom I present myself to serve, that's who is responsible for my payment. Do you not know that to whom you present yourselves servants for obedience, you are servants of the one whom you obey, whether of sin to death or of obedience to righteousness? If I want to, now even though I made a lawless choice to go against nature and poke a needle in my back and bring a baby out an unnatural way, I went against law. I went against common natural law. And that was the original sin, okay, that started the pain, which was a payment for the sin, okay? Because we're all getting paid here, somewhere, somehow. And who we are employed to, that's who is making our payment to us, okay? If I continue to disobey and to serve unrighteousness, I'll go back to pharmakai. I tell them my back hurts. They give me a remedy, a payment for me entering into a contract with them. They give me a payment and a remedy. I take that payment and remedy, which is a prescription or a pill. I use their payment and remedy. The pain in the back is gone. However, with their remedy, they give me a list of complications that can arise, more payments of sin that can arise from my choice to be lawless. But if I want to walk in righteousness, I will not go back to the choice of lawlessness. Okay? I will stand on the word of Yahweh. If I'm going to serve Yahweh, I'm going to stand on his word and his promises that says that he will perfect that which concerns me. But I have to make the choice to walk in righteousness unto him. I can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I can't reserve pharmakai for the remedy if I don't believe that Yahweh is sufficient enough to heal me and to bring me back into right standing with him through Yahushua, our Savior. Because he made a way. We have a choice in the matter. Okay? The thing is, Yahweh is not going to supersede the choice. He's not going to supersede our choices. We have to we have to own those consequences to our own decisions. I'm not dead. I'm still alive. But I have the payment for my sin, yet I asked forgiveness, I repented of the choice, and I live in that contract with Yahweh. If I stay in that contract and don't become lawless and go out of that contract, I will receive the payment, the benefit, the wage for my righteousness. It's very simple. Whoever we present ourselves to in service, as servants for obedience, that's who we're the servants of. If I present myself to Pharmakai, I am their servant. I obey their remedy. If I present myself to Yahweh and ask Him for the remedy, He has already made every possible cure and benefit for us through His law of nature. Okay? If I stay under His contract and under His law, He will show me what I need to do in order to live in health, in provision, in righteousness. But I have to keep my side of the bargain in order for the contract to be binding. Okay? I can't be wishy-washy. Because if I don't see it through and I go back, I receive the payment, the remedy for my lawlessness, because Pharmakai is lawlessness, it's witchcraft. This system was created for lawless ones, those who are not walking in the commandments and the covenants of Yahweh. And it is a complete system. If you want to walk in lawlessness, there is a system for you. It's called statutory law. If you want to walk in lawlessness, you must register in order to receive a license to break the law. If you register for the license to break the law, everyone thinks it's a license to keep the law. It's actually a license to break the law. If I register for a license to break the law, then I will receive the payment for that. And what is the payment for a statutory system? The payment for a statutory system is codes, regulations, statutes, rules, monitoring, okay? Those are all remedies for lawlessness. But if I choose righteousness and to stay in covenant with my Yahweh, with my Elohim, with my Mashiach, I will receive the benefit of that remedy, which is protection, wisdom, truth, health, wealth, strategy, understanding, implications of righteousness in all. But we have been trained to be lawless because It is the desire of the flesh. Lawlessness is the result of living in the flesh and through the flesh. I hope that this helped you. I'm going to make more videos like this. Thank you all for watching.